Hi Aries, welcome to November. This is Teresa from Tarot by T, and I'm getting ready to do your reading. First I want to call in some good energy. And so what's coming up this month? We've got Mercury going retrograde, so that'll be fun. And then we have a full moon in Taurus on the 12th, and then a new moon in Sagittarius on the 26th around Thanksgiving, for those of you celebrating Thanksgiving. And then Neptune goes direct at the end of the month too, I think on the 27th. So we have one retrograde, one direct. But let's see what the cards say for Aries for the month of November. What does Aries need to know about love and relationships for the month of November? What is coming up for Aries for November? What does Aries need to know about November? What does Aries need to know about November? What does Aries need to know about November? Okay, let's see. The Page of Swords. The Ace of Cups, the Four of Cups in the past, the Three of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, the Empress, the Queen of Wands, the Five of Wands, and the King of Wands. So the Page of Swords as a present card, this is about looking into things carefully. And you have this Ace of Cups crossing you, so there's a new beginning happening in November. It could be a new love relationship or a new creative project, because the Ace of Cups involves creativity, emotions. So whatever you're working on, you really care about it. If it's a relationship, you may want to look deeper, because the Page of Swords is about, you may be dealing with someone who's challenging, or you may have to have a conversation with someone, a difficult conversation, and you have to choose your words carefully, and you have to really consider what you want to say before you say it. Don't just come out and be blunt. You have to be diplomatic in November. There could be some gossip or spying connected with the Page of Swords. You could be dealing with an air sign. If you're not dealing, it could be Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. If you're signing a contract in November, especially with Mercury retrograde, you want to be really careful and check all the details, read the fine print. So while the new beginning looks good, I'm not seeing anything bad. It's not, it's not like you can't start something. But you just want to make sure that you know what you're getting into, because there could be some changes that are unexpected, especially with all this. Uranus has been affecting these moons, and we're having a full moon in Taurus. Now, so everything, things can go haywire when Mercury goes retrograde. Communication you can be misunderstood. So you want to make sure that you're speaking clearly, that you're communicating your needs in a relationship, that you're being understood, that you're clear about what you want, clear about what you need, so that there's no misunderstanding. Go out of your way to prevent misunderstanding, because that's really, it can happen at this time. In the past, you have the Four of Cups. Four of Cups is about someone who is dissatisfied, bored. Maybe you feel like you're underappreciated, you're not being valued in a relationship. And in the past, so you started to think, well, maybe I should look and see what's out there. Maybe I don't have to put up with this relationship. Maybe there's other relationships available to me. But a part of you in the past has not really wanted to change your current situation, because the Four of Cups is like a card of considering. Like, yeah, something's being offered to me. Here's this ace, but I don't know if I want it. Do I want it? I don't know. You're kind of comfortable in your current situation. You have been. And the Three of Wands here, you've been waiting for results, and you're starting to see results. Like if you've planted some seeds, if you've started something, maybe over the summer or September, October, because you had that new moon in your sign. So if you started something when the new moon in Aries, which was last month, you could be starting to see results from that. There could be some financial success coming in as a result of that, because you have this King of Pentacles up here. So you could be dealing, you actually have the King of Pentacles and the King of Wands. You could be dealing with someone who is an earth sign, like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or someone who has that sign in their chart somewhere. So even if they're not the sun sign, they could have the moon or rising in the earth. You're dealing with someone, this could be someone who offers financial support and stability, or someone who's thinking of starting their own business, starting to, because this is the card of the entrepreneur. This person cares about family and cares about financial security. So that could be your concern as well. Like you're thinking, like, I gotta, get my act together. I need more stability in my life. I need more security. Now you have the Six of Pentacles coming up in the future. So there has been an imbalance in the give and take in a relationship or a situation. With the Six of Pentacles, one person might be doing all the giving. And maybe you feel like, I'm doing all this work, I'm doing all the work, the other person doesn't care. The other person's not pulling their load, or they're not carrying their own weight. So you may have to have a talk with someone about that. Maybe that's what the conversation's about, the financial situation. Like what's, who's spending what, who's earning what, where is all this? Why am I the only one bringing in money, or I'm the only one paying the bills? It could be something like that. And, you want a more equal partnership. You want someone who's contributing to the relationship. You don't want to be the only one carrying the workload, carrying the load, or carrying the relationship. Now, you have this Empress card here, which is a card of abundance and fertility. And for some of you, it may mean that you're thinking about having a family. For others, it could mean that you're giving birth to a project or something that's like your baby. Maybe a new start in something. It could be a new relationship that's at the beginning stages, and you have to nurture it the way you would nurture a child. You have to take care of it, and it's going to show promise later, but right now you're at the beginning stages. So whatever you're starting something that's bringing you emotional, that has the potential to bring you emotional happiness. But you have to nurture it, and don't be afraid to nurture it, to be, vulnerable, to allow yourself to feel. You could also be dealing with someone who's like an Empress. Oh, I see. And sometimes the Empress is like a mother figure. It's the mother. So maybe what you're wanting in a relationship, you want more nurturing. You want someone who's going to take care of you. You want to be careful that, you're not being too dependent on someone or expecting someone to mother you when you have to give back also. That's one thing to keep in mind. Because I'm seeing some conflicts here coming up with the Five of Wands. This is in your wish fulfillment sector. And the Five of Wands it could be internal conflict, like you're not sure what you want to do. You might be choosing between two people, because I'm seeing the King of Wands, like a fire sign, or an earth sign. You might even be dealing with an air sign with the page. The new person could even be the air sign. But for the most part, or it could be that you're fighting with someone over petty details. So if you're in a relationship that's difficult, if you're having a difficult moment, it could be that you're fighting over money, or you're fighting over petty, not important issues, but like petty stuff. Like someone's being really petty. Someone's, nickeling and diming things, or bringing up little things that aren't that important. Now, you have the Queen of Wands here in your environment. So this is how your partner sees you. They see you as someone, and as an Aries, Aries is a take charge kind of person. They see you as a person who can manage a home, manage career, you go after what you want. You're very, because Aries is a very active type of sign. You're not afraid. You have a lot of courage, and you're not afraid to go after what you want. You're not afraid to take risks or try something new. As a matter of fact, you enjoy it. You enjoy being on the cutting edge, leading the pack. So the Queen of Wands energy here is someone who is very determined. She knows what she wants and she goes after it. Some people may feel that her energy is too strong at times, but she's honest. She speaks her mind. And maybe that's why also this Page of Swords is coming up, because with all this fire, and as a fire signs are very honest. Sometimes they could be a little blunt in their communication style. So you want to just choose your words carefully, that's all I'm saying, because especially with Mercury retrograde, you don't want to be misunderstood or hurt anybody's feelings. I mean, you may have some serious issues to discuss in a relationship. And especially if there's a new relationship, you want to check out this new person. Don't just give your heart away until you know more about them. With Mercury retrograde, you could be connecting with people from the past, which I'll get into later when I look at the astrology. But definitely there's a new beginning coming in November. And it could be a romantic partner, a romantic new beginning that can bring you a sense of security or a sense of family support, abundance. And as an outcome card, you have this King of Wands. So this is a card of King of Wands. You know, you could be connecting with someone that, because we have the King and the Queen in the reading, the new relationship is someone that you're very compatible with. If you're starting over in a new relationship, or if you meet someone new in November, for those of you who are in a new relationship, you could be meeting someone that is really highly compatible with you. You can get each other. And the King is so different than the Pentacles. This King of Wands speaks up, stands out. He offers advice. He speaks his mind. He has a presence about him, a regalness. It could be a Leo, it could be another Aries or Sagittarius, it could be a fire sign. But even if it's not the actual sign, the energy of the King of Wands is someone who has a big heart, likes to help others, likes to be a leader, likes to give advice, can be a little bit bossy at times, but he's coming from a good place because he really just wants to help. But his communication style is a little bit forceful. Because he really believes in what he has to say. So it's like, listen to me, do this, you need to do this, And some people may take that as a command or as a bossiness that they don't like. So if that's you, you need to tone it down. It's okay to help, but soften your approach or your presentation. And if it's not you, if you're dealing with this King, who can sometimes be a little bit of a bully, you might need to set some boundaries. You might need to say, hey, I hear what you're saying, but you need to just, soften the blow, soften the words. But in any case, you're going to find you might have to discuss the balance. And this could be, if you feel like you're taking on too much, or you're doing all of the work, that issue may come up in November, and you have to straighten it out. So if it's either you or the other person, one of you is feeling that they're doing all the work. And I have a feeling it's probably you feeling that way because you have this card of dissatisfaction. Like you're just bored, you feel like I'm doing all this stuff and I'm not getting recognized. I'm not being rewarded, I'm not being valued. You're not feeling loved or valued in the past, but you're going to start to feel. So for some of you might decide to leave a relationship and start a new relationship or check out someone new. Others, you may have to have a conversation in an existing relationship that then sets you on a new path. So you have like a new beginning. Okay, let's try working things out. Let's try a new way of relating. So it doesn't mean, you're going to break up with someone. if you're in a good relationship, if you're in an existing relationship, it could be that you just have some frustrations that need to be aired. And if both partners are willing to work together, you could have a new beginning in that relationship. But I feel if you're fighting or arguing with someone, it's going to be around money and support. You may feel like you're not being supported financially by your partner. So let's see what the astrology has to say. So we have this full moon in Taurus on November 12th, and that's falling in your money houses. So here we are, 2nd house and 8th house. Something will be coming to completion or culmination at this full moon. Some truths may come out. So if you go digging into someone's financial situation, like if you're in a marriage, you may say, oh my God, my partner's spending all this money. Or there's like, some things always come to light. The other thing is, it could be a career issue. Now this full moon is trining, it's being trined by Pluto, or it's trining Pluto and Saturn. Mostly Pluto, because the moon is at 19 degrees. So it's already past Saturn, the Saturn degree. It's a little bit like, because the moon is at 19 degrees, Saturn is at 16 Capricorn, so it's already past it by 3 degrees. So it's on its way out with the Saturn energy. That happened earlier in the month, like in October. Now it's applying to Pluto. So when Pluto's involved, there will be power struggles. So you might be struggling with someone over money, whether it's a partner in a relationship, or it could even be a job issue. If someone's offering you a new position, there may be some issues around money and what they're willing to pay. But Pluto in your 10th house is very powerful for you to be, you're having a change of status. You could come into a really good opportunity career-wise when Pluto's in your 10th house. You can get like the dream job. Or you could change your status, like going from married to single or single to married. This is a very powerful time when the Pluto is going through your 10th. So the moon is trining and the sun is sextiling Pluto because the sun's in Scorpio. But it's bringing up issues of self-worth. This full moon is shining a light on how you deal with, what do you value? What's important to you? How do you get financial support? Are you getting what you're worth? Are you getting the love that you need? Are you valuing yourself enough to demand what you're worth? So things may come to a head at this full moon where you say, I'm not going to put up with, if you're not getting what you deserve, you're not going to put up with it. And so whoever you're dealing with is going to know you mean business at this time. Now, also, Mercury is retrograding. It starts on the 1st, 31st, the 1st, it stations direct. Well, it stations on the 31st and it moves retrograde on the 1st of November. And it's in your 8th house, which is the house of resources that you get from other people. If you're in a marriage or a partnership, even a career situation, it's the other person's finances. It's what they bring to the table. So with Mercury retrograde, there could be some contract issues. And that's why you want to really look carefully with the Page of Swords. Look at what you're signing, look at what you're agreeing to, make sure that you're getting what you deserve, because there could be some details that you're missing. If you're taking a job, they say it's not good to take a job when Mercury's retrograde because things will change. So if you're signing any contracts during the Mercury retrograde period, know that things are going to change. It may be better to wait a couple of weeks if you can, till the end of November, because the truth is going to come out. So if you sign something at the beginning, by the full moon or even by the new moon at the end of the month, you may find that if you, how you say, if I knew if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have signed that contract. I wouldn't agree to those terms. So just look carefully, and before you decide. Mars is going through your 7th house, so that's your house of relationship. So things are active in relationships, both business and personal. So if you have any grievances, your partner's going to hear about them. Either your partner's going to be bringing them up, or you're going to be bringing them up. So you could be arguing over things. How money, something that involves money and settlements and contracts and who's paying for what. Now, Mars is also sextiling Jupiter at this time, at this full moon. So, and Jupiter's in your ninth house. If you've ever thought about going back to school and take, because the ninth house is, for some of you, you might be signing up for an educational program. Perfect time to do it. You've got the energy. Or you may want to travel. You may decide, you know what, I want to move. I want to travel. I want to explore the world. So you might be thinking, maybe my location is just not right. I need to go somewhere else. The ninth house is about higher education. It's about traveling, global, like reaching out to a global market. You could be dealing with some kind of media project or promotional project that reaches out beyond your immediate area. The ninth house is also the house of spirituality. So you could be developing a new spiritual practice. Jupiter brings luck to whatever it touches, and it's strong in the ninth house because that's the house it rules, and it's in Sagittarius, its home sign. So Jupiter is very lucky for you right now. So if you've ever thought about either teaching or learning or dealing with some kind of issues around spirituality, writing about it, blogging about it, this is the time to do that. And Neptune's also, it's a creative time because you've got Neptune in the 12th. So if you tap into your creativity, take time out to meditate and let that inspiration come, you could be doing something really innovative and creative. Something that's breaking you out of your comfort zone, breaking you out, and you might be dealing with people from different cultures. So that's the positive thing around this full moon. It could also bring the favorable resolution to something that you've been struggling with. Finally you come to some type of agreement. But if I were you, I would wait and see if you could sign, if you're going to sign any papers. I mean, sometimes you have to do it. You can't wait. Then just do it. But no, just check all the details. But if you can wait till Mercury goes direct, that would be better. So then we have the new moon in Sag. And that happens also in your ninth house. So here, if you're thinking about starting anything that has to do with ninth house issues, which is teaching, learning, higher education, spirituality, long distance travel, publishing, that's another thing. If you want to publish a book, you want to write a blog or write a book, it's a great time to start. And especially, let's see what's happening with this. There could be some surprises around this new moon because Uranus is forming an inconjunct aspect to the new moon. It's in Taurus, and it's like the new moon's at 4 degrees Sag, and Uranus is at 3 degrees Taurus. So it's a passing, it's a separating aspect, which is weaker than an applying aspect. So when a planet is moving toward the exact aspect, it's more powerful. After it hits the the aspect, and then it's leaving, it's kind of less. It has less energy, but it's only 1 degree away. So I think it's still there, where it can it can bring some surprises to this new beginning. Maybe you just decide, like, hey, you know what? I've had it. I'm gonna start this new project. I'm gonna start this new relationship. I've had it. I'm tired of putting up with things that are not making me happy. And especially, you have Mars in the 8th house opposing Uranus in the 2nd. There's going to be some activity. Mars could bring up some unexpected expense out of the blue. Sometimes Mars relates to surgery. There could be some minor surgery that has to be taken care of and paid for. This is not for everyone, so don't worry. But Mars in the 8th house, it's at home in the 8th house. Mars in Scorpio is strong. You may finally decide, you know what, I want to get to the bottom of everything that I've been, like the 8th house is the house of the transformation. So you may feel like, you know what, I want to change my life. I want to change the way I approach life. I want to look deeply into my blind spots and really make some changes within so that I'm dealing with all my fears and I'm dealing with all my demons so that I come out stronger. So it's giving you that courage to face the things that you haven't been willing to face in the past about yourself. Mercury goes direct at the end of it's already, by this new moon, Mercury will be direct. So that's why I'm saying it's good to sign contracts after it goes direct. And it's going to be supported by Saturn. So anything you sign, if you could wait till this new moon, till the end of the month to sign any contracts, it will be in place for a long time because it's trining Saturn and it's sextiling. Well, no, it's trining Saturn and Pluto. It's sextile. It's trining Neptune. So you've got these powerful planets in your favor at the end of the month at this new moon. Mercury goes direct on the 20th, so by the time you get to the new moon, it's kind of, I don't know if it's going to be out of its shadow. It probably will. It'll be close. But it will be sextiling Saturn and Pluto and trining Neptune. That means that you can make something happen. You can make a dream real. So you can really have some financial success at this time. So I wouldn't sign at the beginning of the month. I would try and wait till the new moon in Sag and sign at the end of the month if you can. That would be great because you have these great aspects. Also, your communication style will be, there'll be less of a chance of misunderstandings with Mercury going direct. And especially the money houses. You don't want to get locked into something that then turns out to be to your disadvantage. But we've got some really good supportive energy toward communication and your thinking processes. Or because when Mercury retrogrades, your thoughts are kind of confusing. You can't really make sense of things. Everything's kind of like under a veil. When it's going direct, you're thinking clearly, especially in Scorpio. You're ready to communicate. You're ready to speak up. Because Mercury in Scorpio doesn't pull any punches. And Aries, you're comfortable with that energy. You know how to tell it like it is. And then Neptune is going direct at the end of the month. So that is right now in your 12th house. So any kind of psychological issues, if you've been working on yourself to feel stronger mentally, psychologically, to overcome any kind of hang-ups or self-sabotaging blockages, it's going to help you. It's going to help you find something to believe in. Find some kind of spiritual path that can really make a difference in your life. So that's my forecast. I think I'll end it here. I think there's a chance for some new beginnings in November for you. Just make sure that you're seeing everything clearly with Mercury, because Mercury is retrograde, and make sure you're communicating your needs. And if you have to sign a contract, wait till the new moon in Sag to do it, just a few days after. By the end of November, I think you should be in a good place. So, and the other thing is, if you can, it's a good time to work on things and, revisit the things that need to be redone. So if you're working on like a financial plan, since everything's happening in your money houses, good time to evaluate, how am I spending my money? Where am I investing my money? How do I need to change things like my budget? Go over and, review all your obligations, your financial obligations. You may find that, or do research if you're thinking of investing in a new area or start setting up a new plan. Do all the research while Mercury is retrograde, but don't take action till it goes direct. That's the last thing I want to say. And so before we close, I want to say also thank you for subscribing to my channel. Thank you for those who continue to watch and who have been leaving comments. I really enjoy the comments. And if you're new, welcome. And if you'd like a private reading, thank you for those who have already ordered readings. I've enjoyed working with all of you. If you'd like to get a reading that specifically speaks to to your life, you can just click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website. So in the meantime, have a great November. And if you're in the United States and you're celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.